We are the Fashion Daddies.
Okay, Fashion Daddy Nick. Episode 2.
We're back.
Yes. And it's just been such an easy journey.
So smooth. You know, like when people, you ask them, any guidelines on starting a podcast? Oh my God, it's so easy. It's so you just do this, this, and this. That's it.
Not so much. But we thank our 2 watchers and listeners.
Yes, thank you for supporting the Fashion Daddies.
My mother and my bestie Johnny.
That's it. Those are good.
Our 2 listeners
that's
and
good.
watchers. Okay.
My 92-year-old mother probably doesn't even know what a podcast is. So Raquel gets a big excuse.
Yes, she does.
We love her.
But we thank anybody else besides those 2 for joining us. And today we want to talk about, so before I even say what we're going to talk about, this is a topic that we extensively covered on Nick's blog because I am an avid figure skating fan. I have been my entire life. So figure skating obviously
so we're going to talk about figure skating.
Yes, we're going to talk about figure skating.
David always buries the lead.
I
mean, you are the barrier of leads.
Yes, so we're going to talk we're not just going to talk about figure skating. We're going to talk about figure skating costumes.
Yes.
The fashion of it.
Quote unquote. But yes, give the provenance.
The provenance is I've always loved figure skating since the beginning of time, and for me it truly is. It's a sport. Everybody knows it's a sport, but I treat it like men and some women treat football. I know, what every score is, the calculations, what every jump, how many points, the GOEs, the
inside edge of the skate or the outside edge. David is which I guess that's the true, that he's a true fan, because when they're doing a specific jump, like he could totally be commentating for Peacock or ISU, preferably probably Peacock, but because he knows, and I can't tell the difference between inside edge, outside edge. Like I said, I just want to talk about the costumes and the music and the way a program, a skate, has it made my heart skip a beat.
Right. And that's what is so wonderful to me about figure skating, is that it is a sport, but you have all the beauty and you can watch it and enjoy it for multiple reasons. So
it's made for you, for that kind of fan, and then this kind of fan. I always like to say that I sort of was a figure skating wife. Right?
Yeah.
Because you would always be watching all, for years and years and years, and I'd sort of just be in the background, being, like making the pizza or the popcorn, pretending to be like, oh yeah, whatever. But tell our fans, our 2 fans who probably already know this. Yeah. What kind of turned it all around?
Well, going back to Project Runway, when Nick was on Project Runway in season 2, they had a challenge that was to design the skating costume for Sasha Cohen, who was the big figure skater at the time. I mean, not as big as Michelle Kwan. Sorry, Sasha.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up to Miss David Paul, because.
But she was, one of the top figure skaters.
She was it
at that moment, and she was going to the Torino Olympics, and it was heading into the year of the Torino Olympics, so she wasn't going to wear this costume at the Olympics, obviously. But it was inspired by, and so the minute that challenge was announced, Nick lost it.
I lost it. Yeah, I just lost it because it, up until that point, I was, like I said, like kind of a secret figure skating wife. And then this happened and I lost it. I mean, and I think they showed it on camera because I was the only one out of all the designers when we got to the skating ring. And I was like, wait, no. And then all of a sudden she's skating on the ice. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Sasha Cohen. Oh my God. And then I caught myself because I'm like, there are cameras filming this. And so now I really have to come out of the closet with being a fan and of the sport and figure skating and this is it. And I had a secret for my hubby David when I got home, and then having to wait 6 months until the episode aired. I held the secret, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, because I was like, oh my God. It was like, because I couldn't wait. I'm like, just you wait. Of all challenges that are in my season.
Well, your excitement paid off because they then sent you to the Torino Olympics.
That's right.
Yeah, so you didn't win the challenge.
No.
And you didn't win the show.
No. But we got to go to Torino, Italia, and be at the Olympics.
And do figure skating commentary on the costumes, which is a full circle moment.
It was with Mary Carrillo.
Yes.
But the famous
Dick Button. Of course.
He was sitting there. He wasn't on TV with me, but he was there. And of course, he's an icon. So of course I knew. And I think I introduced myself and David and I both introduced. And he had no clue of who I was. And what did he say about me?
He goes, "Who's the guy with the hair?"
Because I had that faux hawk, from the show back then, that unfortunate style. It was very early aughts, okay? Okay, let's start with Ilya Malinin.
Yes.
From America, from the U.S., the Quad God.
The Quad God.
And right off the bat, there he is. And I want to talk about his free skate costume. Okay. But before I do that, let's talk about the music.
Okay.
And it was, I think it was, the title of it was called A Voice. And I've got my notes here. And it's a mix of instrumental music with some voiceover.
Yes.
And I think when he was interviewed, he talked about the concept. He said it's, the concept of the free skate is him talking in detail about how you can develop and transform as a person, going through all your past experiences and flashbacks. All those memories help build the person who is now and who is in the future. And speaking of a voiceover, the voice is who, Daddy David?
It is Ilya himself. He did his own voiceover.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Yeah. Costumes.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we know the theme, he wore I thought a gorgeous black ensemble with bishop sleeves, blouson sleeves, and they were pleated. And then the front and the back, it was sort of attached to this corset-like bodice top with a high neck. And by the way, he kind of had a haircut style. But now, again, I did my research, and the costume was designed by Japanese fashion and costume designer Satomi Ito, who, if you are a figure skating fan, you probably know, very, very famous.
I think for me, aside from all that, what I appreciated is just where he went with the costume, which was very bold and over the top.
And dramatic.
And very figure skating. And what I mean by that is it's known for its embellishments and over the top, and male figure skating costumes have become a little stale and boring for many of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
But some of the top American guys from the past have been lacking, let's just say.
Yes.
I'm not going to name any names, but it's like, here's a black mock neck turtleneck and black pants, and it's designed by Vera Wang. And I'm like, Give me something more, please.
So I appreciate that he knew that it was an Olympic year. He knew that it was a big moment.
Yeah.
He is really making the most of that moment because he is the one favorite to win the gold medal, and by a mile. I mean, so this is like they say when you're ready to win the Academy Award, you
wear an Academy Award winning gown.
Yes. So he put a lot of thought into what this was going to be, and this is going to be a costume that is going to be shown for years and years and years to come. So I appreciate that he went for it. He didn't just give us a basic t-shirt.
Thank you. So, thank you, Ilya Malini. Okay, next up, speaking of costumes and bringing it to you, okay, I want to talk about Adam Xiao Him Fa of what country?
Oh, France.
From France. And, okay, so we can talk about both his short program and his free skate because I think it was a continuation.
Yes.
And there was a theme there. And so the short program, the costume was by Astray Couture, which is a French costume maker. They make a lot of costumes for a lot of figure skaters. And, it's in the short program, it's his body. It's like a whole tattoo naked body, but in a top and jeans or pants because it was inspired by Da Vinci and the famous Vitruvian Man, Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. Thoughts?
Yeah. It wasn't my favorite. I appreciate the concept. I appreciate, where he was going. Again, I appreciate that he was trying something. But the short program costume is the one we're talking about, which is the one that where it's basically like a painted bodysuit.
Right, that you see the chest and the abs, and it's the Da Vinci, the famous Da Vinci Vitruvian Man.
But it was distracting to me. It was I was paying more attention to the costume than I was to his skate, and his skating is so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
He is truly one of the most beautiful skaters. So that was I would have rather, and crazy enough, in this instance, I would have wished he went with something simpler,
right?
Something that didn't hit us over the head with the theme. It was a little too on the nose for my taste.
Okay. I mean, I think it was. When I looked at it, of course, I thought Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Yes.
It's very Jean-Paul Gaultier, but it wasn't Jean-Paul Gaultier. It was Astray Couture.
Yes.
Because, Jean-Paul Gaultier, if you know Jean-Paul Gaultier, I love saying Jean-Paul Gaultier, that the tattoos and you see the see-through mesh tops and all that. So, I mean, I thought it was fashion, but I think you're right. It was distracting.
But even more than Jean-Paul Gaultier, the brand new designer.
Oh, yeah.
Lantique.
Durand Lantique. He featured some bodies.
He took the Jean-Paul Gaultier body tattoo imagery and bumped it up a notch.
Look it up. If we show you, if in this podcast we can do images, we're going to have to cut it off because it's not safe. It's not safe for work. But if you don't, you look it up and you'll see what we're talking about.
It's the whole body. Every part of the body.
Yeah.
So we're glad he didn't
do that. Right. We're glad he didn't do that. Okay. So then his free skate.
Yes.
The free skate costume, again, it's sort of a continuation, the whole theme. And that was the creation of Adam. So, we're talking Michelangelo, and so he wore, I think, not as a bold interpretation of his first costume, and I really liked it, especially because there was a costume reveal.
Loves a costume reveal.
OMG, when I saw it, all of a sudden I was like, whoa! Wait, David, there's a costume reveal. Sometimes you don't see it that much with men, but, with the women, all of a sudden they flip this or they flip their skirt and you're like, oh, a reveal. It's a 2-in-1. And so what he did is that, midway, he sort of snapped, and he revealed, what were they? It was
the hands.
The hands, the hands touching in the Sistine Chapel, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. I liked it better than the short program. And it had nice drapery along the neckline.
Yes. Yeah. We love a good drape.
Yes.
Note to male figure skaters.
Yeah.
We both love. I mean, first of all, I'm a draper. I love draping. You can buy my draping book on Amazon.com, and and I love it because it's the femininity of it and the fluidness of it, especially if it goes with the theme of the song. And there were a couple other skaters this time around in Angers that were wearing some beautiful draped costumes.
Yeah. So that one I give a thumbs up to. Okay, who's next?
We've got another man.
Yes.
Our last man that I want to talk about. Let's just do that, and then we'll get to the women.
He's from Sweden, isn't he?
No.
Oh, sorry. He's from Switzerland.
Oh
my God.
Ay. Lucas Britschgi. And now this was a bit controversial.
Yeah.
Not just the costume. I think mainly the theme.
Yeah.
Maybe all of it was a little bit. Because if you go on the Twitter sphere and the Twitter world, the fans, stands, whatever you call, there's stuff there. So I guess we should just get the elephant in the room out of the way. The skate was called A Journey Through the Orient. And the costume was sort of based on Orientalism. There's a lot of talk about Orientalism and what it means, what it meant. In the past, it was a sort of a very Eurocentric. I'm just totally shortening this because it's a long discussion.
Yes.
This could be
a whole other podcast.
Yeah, this is a whole other podcast on Orientalism and what it means and what it means now, and how it's changed. But yes, it's basically like a Eurocentric view of what a lot of the European colonial people thought of the Middle East and the quote-unquote Orient, meaning Asia, and they sort of bundled it up all together. So it would be like Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, India, and Japan, all in one! And what it meant to them in terms of style was sexy, uber sexy midriff tops and harem pants. And that sort of went into the art, into fashion. You see some of the Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent was very inspired by Orientalism before it became not cool. And I was always probably not cool. Opium, his perfume.
Yes.
He actually, and you also saw it in operas, La Bayadère, in ballets, the Nutcracker. You have the quote-unquote Chinese tea dance and the quote-unquote Arabian dance. And then, so that there's a lot of stuff, things that you might not want to go into. Anyway, he kind of went into it. To make a long story short, he kind of went into it. So the costume was designed by Séverine Costumage, which is a Belgian costume designer. And he talked about it, actually. And he liked it, but
who did Lucas?
Lucas.
Oh, well, of course he's wearing it.
Yeah, he's wearing it, and he said, "This is a little shocking because it's sleeveless." By the way, let's just describe it. He wore what?
It was like a sleeveless vest, and then he wore a modified harem pant,
drop crotch,
sort of a drop crotchy pant that was sort of of course, like those pants are. They're a little shorter, and I think they tucked into his boots to give the effect of sort of like a high-rised pant,
right?
And armbands. I remember,
armbands in his biceps. I remember going on the internets, and I think the post was, "Is this okay to do Orient?"
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I saw it, I was like, are we doing this now? I don't know that we're doing this anymore.
All right, let's do the women.
Women.
Okay, let's do the women. Okay, I just want to talk about a couple of the Japanese ladies.
Yes,
the women.
of course.
Kaori Sakamoto.
Yes.
The goat. Is that okay to say? Would I say?
I don't know that she's GOAT status, but she's close. I mean, she's a 3-time world champion.
Okay with your stats.
And an Olympic bronze medalist from the last Olympics.
You didn't even have notes to read. Like, you just know this. See, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, like the stuff he knows. Yeah. I'm just the figure skating wife. I'm making popcorn in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. But she's getting there. She doesn't have 5 world medals like Michelle Kwan.
Here we go again.
Or 9 national titles. I wonder how many national titles she has. I should know that, but I don't.
Michelle?
No, Michelle has 9. I don't know how many Kiori has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's
all right. But on to her costume.
All right. Her costume. And yes, it was actually free skate costume. Let's talk about that. And that was also a Stray Couture. And it was an Edith Piaf medley that she skated to, and I loved it. It was, the music was La Vie en Rose, Patricia Cott, Edith Piaf, very French, even though the Olympics will be in Italy, but I did love that look, the costume. It looked elegant.
Yeah.
She had the necklace on. It was almost like, you could just see Edith. She was vibing like Edith Piaf, singing on stage, being the chanteuse that she is, and the red, it was this sort of almost blood red color, and it had like an ombre shading to it, and they opened the nude illusion. I loved it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I loved the pearl necklace.
Yeah.
Which was really great, and the drop, the exposed back,
right?
Which is always beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, the matching lipstick. I thought it was great. It was really good.
I'm not gonna probably put it in my top of the year.
Well, we just started.
I know.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But it's nice.
Yes, it's nice. It's Kaori Sakamoto. So, okay, another Japanese skater.
Yes.
That I want to talk about, and it was Ami Nakai, who I believe she got the gold.
She did. Yes, she burst onto the scene. It was her very first Grand Prix competition
in seniors, because she was a junior, right? She was a junior before, and she'd be doing some triple axeling.
Yeah,
right.
She landed a triple axel in her short program, which is not an easy feat. Very few women can do that. So she's one to watch.
Didn't she do like 2 triples, like in the free skate? Wasn't that like a big deal? No,
a triple. No, everybody basically does a triple at this point, Nick. But yes,
he's throwing me skating shade. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Yes, I want to talk about her show program.
Okay.
Because first of all, she just came onto the ice, and I loved it immediately because it was so graphic. Now, she skated to La Strada by Nino Rota from the famous, iconic Federico Fellini film. Now, a lot of skaters, particularly female skaters, have skated to this. It's a popular skating music, and so I've seen variations on this striped clown look, which is paying homage to one of the big female character, Gelsomina, and she's traveling around like a vagabond, almost homeless, and doing clown shows, and in the poster that you see and in the movie, she's wearing the striped top and worn skirt and worn clothing, like I said, just very like homeless clown adjacent. And so immediately I recognized the homage with the striped top. But what I really loved about it is then when the camera panned up really close, it was all sequins. So it was very, speaking of, it's like Jean-Paul Gaultier couture when he would do his famous sailor tops, and they were striped, and it just looked like navy and white, but they were all hand done sequined stripes. It was crazy. And so I love that. And I love the fact that it was also worn. So there were places that it looked distressed, where it was like unfinished. And that, again, it paid homage to the character in the film.
Yeah, it was really creative how they distressed the beaded top. So you've got your figure skating beading going on.
Of course.
But they interpreted it with the distressing of it. It was a very modern interpretation, I thought. But at the same time, it was youthful because she's very young. And so it didn't take her outside of who she was. And so it kept that feeling. And she looked great. And it was a perfect short program costume. Because oftentimes the short program's a little more fun, it's a little more light, a little more quick, and so it had all those elements as opposed to being very serious and dramatic.
Like she wasn't trying to give you Ice Princess. Look, I loved it, and she had a flippy young skirt to it with a little slit, a black skirt, the top graphic, and it just stood out in that white ice. I thought it was great. Okay,
who's next?
All right, let's talk about Isabeau Levito.
I thought you'd never get to it.
Well, I saved her for last. And yes, so American.
Yes.
And would you say she's our top female skater or one of the top? Is this going to be controversial?
She's one of the top skaters. She is a national champion. She has been a national champion. But Alyssa Liu, who came back on the scene, won the world. She was the gold medalist.
She did. And what about Miss Amber Glenn, Miss Triple Axel.
Triple Axel.
Okay, so we have some contenders.
And she is a national champion also. So
speaking of nationals, where are we going in January, Daddy David?
We are going to the nationals. We are going to go to
St. Louis, Missouri. Yes. We're very excited.
Yes.
Anyway, costumes by the famous costume designer for figure skating costumes, Lisa McKinnon. Props to Lisa McKinnon. She does some gorgeous costumes, and she didn't fail us for this season. So I do want to talk about both of her, Isabeau Levito's short and the free skate, the short program. Now, the short program was she wore a red costume, and this was to music from the House Boat soundtrack as well as The Millionaires. It was Sophia Loren talking. The songs were Almost in Your Arms and then Zooby Zooby Zoo. Zooby Zooby Zoo. Okay, I don't want to get copyrighted. But it's great. It's so perfect for Isabeau, and the red costume. She just looked very classic. It was just perfection. Again, she's wearing this necklace, and then off the shoulder sequined costume, off the shoulder backless. You could almost see Sophia Loren. In one of those movies in the 50s, wearing such a thing and starting to give it to the boys, honey.
Well, we have a long way to go this season.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be hard to beat as being one of my favorites.
Ooh.
It was perfect. I mean,
not good.
Yeah. It's so good.
It is.
Lisa McKinnon is my favorite. I have never seen a costume that isn't amazing.
That all of a sudden we did our research and we looked and we're like, it's Lisa McKinnon.
I will say this is, I think, is high praise.
Go.
She's like the Bob Mackie of figure skating costumes. Yeah, she just does everything right. It's just such a great, distinctive style that is beautiful and elegant.
Can you tag Lisa McKinnon on a podcast? Hashtag.
So anyway, it's gorgeous. Isabeau is a just classic in every way. And so the costume just even bumped that up.
I think I remember telling you, I said right after she saw her, even while she was still skating, I said to David, I said, this is so perfect and classic. Anyway, and then we can talk about last but not the last one, her free skate. And that was, I think she skated to Cinema Paradiso. And she wore like a lilac lavender costume with gold applique, embroidery. Again, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, and that music, again, is very popular with figure skaters. And, it's difficult to sort of convey in costume-wise, because you don't want to go like vintage 1940s, downtrodden Italy, So you want to give it almost like that classic Hollywood look to it. And I think that was probably the theme that they were going for.
Do you know, did Lisa do that one too?
Not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, wait. I think she did. Sorry. I think that Lisa did. Yeah.
Well, it was beautiful too. Both. And I think they both reflected the program and the program's music just perfectly.
Yeah.
And so, so far 5 stars for Isabeau
and Lisa McKinnon. So last but not least, I want to talk about Guillaume Cizeron and Laurence Fournier-Baudry and their free dance. Do you want to... Okay, if you're watching this, hopefully, you are already a figure skating fan, but do you want to give a little synopsis of what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a lot. So we will try and make it brief, but Guillaume Cizeron is an Olympic gold medalist with Gabriel Papadakis. Yes.
For France.
And he, they got their gold medal and they had retired. And there's a lot that goes into that we won't talk about. But then he decided to come back and partner with Baudry.
Yes, with Laurence. Well, to find someone.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I think that was already probably like...
Yeah, we don't know the whole origins. But anyway, they're back.
And Laurence Fournier-Baudry had her own... thing with her partner. Look it up, guys. Please look it up.
We're not going to get into it.
No, we're not going to get into it.
We're going to just talk about the costumes.
Exactly.
But this was their very first competition, and they were competing against the Italian team and also the British team. So there were 3 top teams, and not always do you see such a high level of competition.
Top.
In these events, because your whole goal is to win 1 to 2 of them to make it to the final. So you're kind of, all the countries sort of figure out, okay, this top skater's going to this event, so we're going to send our top skater to that event.
Because they know they would probably win. So at least they got that.
Yeah.
Right.
But in this situation, 3 of the top teams were there. So it was quite a competition.
Okay. So, I know we're going to talk about the costumes.
Yes.
The other stuff, like I said, you all look it up. You all do their... Okay. So this is like the first time, that people see them on the ice.
First time.
I will get to the costumes because the skate... I know that there's controversy out there for them being together and all that, but oh Lordy, they done got me.
And along with that perfect pairing were perfect costumes, in my estimation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think seamless is the word that we're going through here. It's like they've been doing this for 10 years together. Now, again, I do my research. So what was this about? What was the music? What was the theme? So the music was from the Whale soundtrack.
Oh.
Now, we know that the Whale has nothing to do with water or that sea animal, right? But the costumes were more inspired by the aquatic universe, which was interesting. If you don't know the Whale, of course, it's about a morbidly obese man and his relationship. Brendan Fraser.
Yes, Brendan
I think
Fraser.
he won an Oscar.
He did win
for
an
it.
Oscar.
So the Whale is I think a symbol of something else. But what Cizeron and Fournier-Baudry they basically, and I have some quotes here, they said they wanted to make the theme, be, the music was supposed to be a metaphorical dimension with a very aquatic universe. This is what they said, that's what inspired them. And basically thinking about working around water to nourish their movements and their interpretation and everything that water represented. And when I read that,
yes,
I was like, got it. When you look at their costumes, again, they're blue.
Yeah.
They're aquatic, kind of aquamarine blue, modern, chic, sexy, seamless, second skin. And if they said that they wanted to have that, what water feels to some people. When you get in the water, there's a sort of a cleansing. There's a sort of a feeling. It can take you to another world, obviously. And the costumes, they did that. They both looked like these gorgeous modern sea creatures.
Yeah. I mean, it is a style that he has basically done his whole career.
Yes.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a modern skate. He is sort of like a modern dancer. Mm-hmm. So the costumes reflected that. The beautiful drapery of them and the clean lines. Beautiful. Just as beautiful as a skate.
It was, a lot of times you see with skaters, especially with I stands or pairing, you see it's like there's the male and then there's the female.
Yeah.
And there's a separation. Oh, here's the guy, here's his black shirt and black pants, and here's the girl and she's got the crystals. It's like, and this is also what he did with Papadakis in terms of costumes. Whoever designed and created their costumes as well. It was just seamless. It was just seamless, and it didn't take me away from the program. It brought me even deeper into. I wanted to dive into that aquatic universe with them.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an exciting season because it's already, we're heading to Cup of China. That's next. And we get Amber Glenn and we get Alyssa Liu. So we get new costumes all around.
Great.
So I'm excited.
All right, stay tuned. So hopefully we can continue this, the new version of Ice Style with Nick and
David, the Fashion Daddies, really.
With the Fashion Daddies. So, yes, if you like fashion, if you like ice skating, Project Runway, stay tuned. And don't forget, what, Daddy David?
To like, subscribe, and share.
And get our new book. The Basics of Pattern Making for Fashion Design. It's amazing.
Available on Amazon.com.
Get it now.
See you next time.
Ciao. The Fashion Daddies is created and hosted by David Paul and Nick Varios. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and scenic designed by David Paul. I'm just here to entertain.